My name is Mary Thompson, and if you're reading this, you're probably wondering how a woman like me, once the picture of suburban bliss in the heart of America, ended up spilling her deepest, darkest secrets onto these pages. It's not easy to relive the pain, the shame, the twists and turns that led me down a path I never imagined I'd take. But I feel compelled to tell it all, from the very beginning, because holding it in has been eating me alive for years. This is my story, narrated by me, Mary, in the quiet moments of reflection that come after the kids have gone to bed and Nathan is snoring softly beside me in our Indiana home. It's a tale of love, desperation, betrayal, and redemption, set against the backdrop of the relentless grind of American life, the kind that promises the world but delivers bill after bill, disappointment after disappointment. Buckle up, because this is going to be a long one. I've got a lot to say, and every detail matters, every emotion raw and unfiltered. Let's start at the very start, shall we? I was born in 1985 in a dusty little town called Millersburg, Ohio, the kind of place where the cornfields stretch out forever and the biggest excitement is the annual county fair. My parents were hardworking folks. Dad a farmer who barely scraped by after the big agribusinesses took over, Mama seamstress at the local textile mill that shut down when I was 10. We lived in a creaky old farmhouse on the outskirts, the kind with peeling white paint and a wraparound porch that sagged under the weight of too many winters. Money was always tight. I remember Christmases where the only gifts were handmade ornaments and a shared orange for the family. But we had love, or so I thought back then. My brother Tommy and I shared a room, whispering dreams under the covers about escaping to the big city, maybe even Columbus, where real opportunities awaited. High school was my ticket out, or at least that's what I told myself. I was a good student, captain of the cheerleading squad, involved in every club from debate to the future homemakers of America. Boys noticed me. I had that girl next door look with long auburn hair, freckles across my nose, and a smile that hid the worries at home. But I kept my head down, focused on grades because college wasn't an option without scholarships, and scholarships weren't coming easy in a town like Millersburg. That's when I met Nathan, or rather, when our paths first crossed in a way that would change everything. It was the summer after my junior year, 2003, and I was working the breakfast shift at Betty's Diner on Main Street in Columbus. I'd hitched a ride with a friend to the city for a summer job, crashing on her couch in a run-down apartment near Ohio State University. The diner was a classic American spot, chrome stools, checkered floors, the smell of frying bacon and fresh coffee permeating the air from dawn till dusk. Nathan walked in one morning, his work boots caked in mud from the garage where he apprenticed. He was 20, tall and broad-shouldered, with messy brown hair and eyes the color of the Ohio sky on a clear day. He ordered black coffee and pancakes, and as I poured his cup, our hands brushed. "Sorry, miss," he said with a grin that made my knees weak. "No harm done," I replied, feeling a spark I'd only read about in romance novels. From that day on, Nathan became a regular. He'd linger after his meal, chatting about his dreams of owning his own auto shop one day, fixing up classic cars for the rich folks in the suburbs. I told him about Millersburg, about wanting more than cornfields and small-town gossip. We were both dreamers, both chasing that elusive American dream, the one where hard work pays off, where you buy a house with a white picket fence, raise a family, and retire comfortably. Our first date was a picnic by the Scioto River, under the shade of willow trees, with Nathan bringing a cooler of sandwiches he'd made himself, slightly burnt, but endearing. We talked for hours about music. He loved classic rock. I was into country. About family. His parents divorced when he was young. Mine still together, but strained. About the future. "I want to build something real, Mary," he said as the sun set, his arm around my shoulders. "With you." I believed him. God, how I believed him. By the end of summer, we were inseparable. Nathan helped me move into a shared apartment near the diner, and we spent every free moment together, movie nights at the Dollar Theater, walks in the park, stolen kisses in his beat-up Ford pickup. When fall came, I enrolled in community college for a general studies degree, working doubles to pay tuition. Nathan's apprenticeship turned into a full-time job at a garage in downtown Columbus, and life felt like it was on the upswing. We got engaged on New Year's Eve 2004, under fireworks exploding over the city skyline. He proposed with a simple gold ring he'd saved for months to buy, down on one knee in the snow. "Marry me, Mary? Let's make our dreams come true." Tears froze on my cheeks as I said yes. Our wedding was modest, held in June 2005 at the county courthouse, followed by a reception at the VFW hall with barbecue and beer. My parents came from Millersburg, Nathan's mom from her trailer in Grove City. It wasn't lavish, but it was ours, vows exchanged in front of a justice of the peace, rings slipped on trembling fingers, and a first dance to Amazed by Lone Star. Starting a family was the next natural step, and it happened sooner than we planned. I found out I was pregnant just 3 months after the wedding. Nathan was over the moon, quitting smoking on the spot and promising to work harder. Emily arrived on a crisp March morning in 2006 in the maternity ward of Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. The labor was long, 18 hours of pain that made me question everything, but when I held her tiny body, all 7 pounds 2 ounces, with her tuft of dark hair and Nathan's eyes staring back at me, it was worth it. "She's perfect, Mary," Nathan whispered, his voice cracking as he cut the cord. We named her Emily Rose, after my grandmother. Bringing her home to our one-bedroom apartment in German Village was magical. The crib Nathan assembled himself, the mobile of stars hanging above, late-night feedings where we'd rock her together, singing lullabies. Life with a newborn was a whirlwind. I stayed home for the first few months, living off Nathan's salary and what savings we had. Columbus was buzzing then, construction everywhere, the economy humming before the crash. But diapers, formula, doctor visits, they added up fast. I went back to waitressing part-time when Emily was 6 months old, Nathan pulling overtime at the garage. We dreamed of a house, but rent was $800 a month for that tiny place, and it felt like we were treading water. Still, we were happy. Family outings to the Columbus Zoo, picnics in Franklin Park, Nathan teaching Emily to say "Dada" while changing her, those moments were pure gold. 2 years later, Jacob came along. I was 23, Nathan 25, and pregnancy number 2 was easier, but no less emotional. We moved to a 2-bedroom apartment in the suburbs of Reynoldsburg for more space, the rent jumping to $1,200. Jacob was born in May 2008, a chubby 8-pound boy with my freckles and a cry that could wake the dead. The delivery room at Mount Carmel East Hospital was filled with our joy, Nathan pacing, my sister holding my hand, and then that moment when Jacob latched on for his first feed. 2 kids, Mary, Nathan said, beaming. "We're really doing this." Emily was thrilled to be a big sister, toddling over to kiss his forehead. Our family was complete, or so it seemed. But the recession hit like a freight train that year. Factories closed, garages laid off workers, and suddenly Nathan's hours were cut. We dipped into credit cards for basics, the American dream starting to feel like a nightmare. To make ends meet, we decided to relocate. Nathan heard about better job prospects in Indianapolis, Indiana, a growing city with auto industry ties. In 2009, we packed up the kids and our belongings into a U-Haul, driving west on I-70. The move was bittersweet. Leaving Ohio meant leaving family, but we needed the fresh start. Indianapolis welcomed us with open arms, or so we thought. We rented a small house in a working-class neighborhood on the east side, $1,400 a month, with a yard for the kids to play in. Nathan landed a job at a larger garage specializing in foreign cars, and I found part-time work at a Kroger supermarket, stocking shelves and ringing up groceries. Emily started kindergarten at a local public school, Jacob in daycare. Life settled into a rhythm. School runs, Nathan's long days, my evenings cooking meatloaf and mac and cheese from boxes. But the financial strain never let up. Healthcare costs were skyrocketing. Emily needed glasses. Jacob had ear infections that required antibiotics. Car repairs, utility bills, groceries for a family of 4, it all piled on. By 2012, we were approved for a mortgage on a 3-bedroom ranch-style home in Carmel, a suburb just north of Indy. It was our big leap, $250,000 loan, 30-year fixed at 4.5%, monthly payments of $1,500 plus taxes and insurance. This is it, our forever home, Nathan said as we closed, the kids running through the empty rooms squealing with delight. The house had a finished basement, a 2-car garage, and a backyard with a swing set. We furnished it on credit, painting walls in soft blues and yellows, hanging family photos from Ohio. For a while, it worked. Nathan got a raise. I picked up more hours at Kroger. We hosted barbecues, joined a church group, even took a family vacation to Lake Michigan one summer. Emily was excelling in school. Jacob was a little fireball of energy and t-ball. But then came the medical bills. In 2014, Nathan slipped a disc at work, sidelining him for months. Workers' comp helped, but not enough. I juggled 2 jobs, a night shift at a call center added to Kroger, coming home exhausted, kids in bed by the time I arrived. Nathan recovered, but the debt lingered like a shadow. Credit card balances climbed to $20,000, minimum payments eating our budget. By 2017, things were dire. The mortgage was 2 months behind, the bank sending stern letters. Nathan suggested selling the house, but the market was soft, and we'd lose money. We can make it, I'd say, but inside, panic reigned. The kids were growing. Emily needed braces, $5,000 out of pocket. Jacob wanted soccer gear. Nathan's temper flared under the stress. Arguments erupted over small things, like forgotten groceries or late bills. Our intimacy suffered. Sex became a chore, not a connection. I felt alone, trapped in this cycle of survival that the land of opportunity had become. Enter Carlos Ramirez, the janitor who would upend my world. It was spring 2018 when the property management company for our HOA hired him for maintenance. Carlos was 45, a sturdy man with salt and pepper hair, deep brown eyes, and hands roughened by years of labor. He'd immigrated from Mexico in the 90s, working odd jobs across the Midwest before settling in Indy. He mowed lawns, fixed fences, cleared gutters, quiet, reliable, always with a nod and a good morning, ma'am. Our first real interaction was when he came to trim the hedges. Emily and Jacob were at school, Nathan at work. I offered him lemonade on the porch and we chatted. Beautiful home you have, he said in his accented English. Family is everything, no? I nodded, but my voice cracked as I mentioned the bills. He listened, really listened, something Nathan hadn't done in months. Over the next weeks, Carlos's visits became routine. He'd stop by for checks, lingering to talk. I shared my worries, the mortgage, the kids' needs, Nathan's stress. Carlos opened up too. His wife died of cancer 5 years ago, no kids, just him and the grind. America is hard on dreamers, Mary, he said one day, his hand brushing mine. But you are beautiful, strong. You deserve better. Flattery? Maybe, but it felt genuine. Desperation built as summer hit. The mortgage was 3 months late, eviction notices arriving. I hid them from Nathan, who was already on edge after a layoff scare at the garage. One hot July afternoon, Carlos arrived to power wash the driveway. I was in the kitchen, sobbing over bank statements. He saw me through the window, knocked. Mary, what's wrong? Inside, I poured it all out. He comforted me, his arms around my shoulders in a hug that lingered. I can help, he said. Talk to the manager? Or money. I have some saved. I asked for a loan $3,000 to catch up. He shook his head. I can't just give, but maybe trade. A night companionship. No strings. My stomach dropped. Infidelity? With the janitor? I loved Nathan, or at least the man he was. But the house, the kids' stability, it was everything. Just once I whispered, hating myself. That evening, after Nathan's night shift and kids at my sister's in Ohio for a visit, Carlos returned. The living room, our sanctuary, became the scene. Nervous kisses led to the bedroom. His touch was firm, experienced, nothing like Nathan's tenderness. It was over in an hour, passionate but mechanical, guilt flooding me as he left with a promise of cash. The envelope came next day, $3,000. Relief washed over me. I paid the bank. Nathan noticed my smile. "What's up, babe?" "Just a bonus at work," I lied. Life normalized, family dinners, school events. But Carlos came back for maintenance. Another encounter, then another. Each time, more money, more excuses. $500 here for braces, $1,000 for car repairs. I rationalized, saving our home, protecting the family. But emotionally, it wrecked me. Crying in the mirror, confessing silent sins at church. Carlos and I talked more, his stories of border crossings, lost dreams. Attraction grew. He made me feel alive, desired. Months passed, encounters weekly. Nathan suspected nothing, our marriage a facade. Then 2019, a close call. Nathan home early, Carlos's truck outside. I panicked, hid him in the basement. Heart racing, lies spilling. Guilt intensified. By 2020, COVID hit. Nathan furloughed, bills soared. Carlos offered more, but I ended it. No more, I said. He begged, but I stood firm. Then Nathan found a text, "See you tomorrow for the sink?" Suspicion ignited. Confrontation. Who's Carlos? I confessed partially the affair, not the money. Rage, tears, him leaving for his brothers. Weeks of hell, kids confused, me alone. Counseling at a center in downtown Indy, sessions unpacking desperation, betrayal. Nathan returned, forgiveness slow. Stimulus money saved the house. Carlos vanished. Now, 2025, we're healing. Emily in college, Jacob thriving. Scars remain, but love endures. This is my long, painful journey, the night that changed everything.